Welcome back to Tiempo. A new magazine launches next year for Latino parents and kids. It is called Parents Latina, and the magazine will be in English. I'm joined this morning by Enedina Vega, the Vice President and Publisher of Meredith Hispanic Media. Un placer. Gracias.
Gracias.
I'm sure you did a lot of market research before you and the folks at Meredith decided to launch this venture. What did the research tell you about now being the right time for this type of endeavor?
Well, the research shows the growing number of Latina moms.
Okay.
And so as a segment, there has been 17% growth in Hispanic moms in the U.S., whereas among other ethnic segments, there's a decline. And so we are very committed to research, very committed to consumer insights. And in talking to these moms, 90% of them said that they would be interested in a magazine targeted to them.
Okay.
And they gave us a lot of insights also on what they'd like to see in this magazine.
I'll get to that in a second. So there's an immediate market for
There's an immediate market, and beyond just the growth in the numbers, you know, as moms as a segment, the fact that 1 in 3 births in this country will be to a Latina household, the growth of, or the impact of Latinos, not just socially and culturally, but the economic growth of this segment is also one of the reasons why we're launching the magazines.
Meredith already has magazines in Spanish, ¿verdad?
We do.
Which two?
We have Siempre Mujer, which is a lifestyle magazine targeted to Latina women, and we have Ser Padres, which is a parenting magazine targeted to Latina moms with children 0 to 12.
If those are in Spanish, why did you decide to make this one in English?
Because there's a growth in terms of the younger segment of Latinos who are consuming media in English. So today, 60% of Latinos are Spanish dominant preferred, and 40% are English. But that segment and those numbers are shifting, and we're seeing that shift.
Where the 60 is coming down and the 40 is going up.
And you know what's really going up is not English only, it's really bilingual.
Bilingual.
And that's really the story. What we're talking about here is a segment that is bilingual and bicultural. And that's very different from what we've seen with other segments and other immigration groups. So it's the creation of a different consumer, if you will.
Will you therefore flavor the magazine with Spanish words and Spanish tidbits and Spanish titles just to keep that reality
organically, as long as it happens in a very organic fashion, yes. But it is in English.
You mentioned it. Let's get to it. What are you going to include in the magazine? What did the research tell you that these moms would like to see?
Well, like any other moms, they're interested in raising healthy children, healthy and happy children. So we will include a lot of information on education, on health, on nutrition, and even finance, and then cultural information. She's looking for stories that will relate to her culturally. She's very tech savvy, she's very savvy overall. So if she's looking for information on any subject, she can pretty much research that and get that. But what she's looking for example, if she's interested in childhood obesity, she can find information on obesity online anywhere. But who's going to tell her what foods she can cook and how she can alter the flavors and ingredients that she's accustomed to using so that they address her needs culturally?
And I would guess you'll do that in a cultural approach that addresses the way Latinas cook.
Absolutely.
And what they cook, correct?
El sazón de nosotras.
For sure. How frequently will the magazine be published?
Initially quarterly. So we'll launch in the spring and April, and then there'll be a spring, summer, fall, and winter issue.
Will there be a digital presence with the magazine? And I ask that because, as I'm sure your research indicated, many young parents access the internet and live on the smartphone and use their tablet.
So part of what we do at Meredith, in addition to publishing magazines, is that we have a very strong digital presence. So today we have over 6 million Latinas who come to the Meredith sites. And we have the Parents.com network, which is comprised of all of the parenting titles that we have, including SelPadres.com. So soon you'll be able to visit Parents.com and also find ParentsLatina.com. So we will build that out.
I think we've teased the viewers long enough. If all goes well, when does the magazine launch?
April.
April.
April cover issue, yes.
Confident?
Absolutely.
What needs to be done from your end between now and then?
Well, we're in the process of hiring our editorial team.
Okay. So writers, editors, photographers, etc.
Yes.
Okay. So the word is out.
Word is out.
Somebody looking for work. All right, sit tight. When we return, more on the new Parents Latina magazine. You're going to want to pick it up soon, starting in April. More on that when we come back. Welcome back to Tiempo. We're talking about a new English language magazine, Parents Latina. You'll see it soon in April when it launches. I'm joined by Enedina Vega, the vice president and publisher of Meredith Hispanic Media. What makes your magazine, this one, different than others that are already out there?
Well, it's the audience that we're speaking to, and right now there's a void. No one is speaking to Latina moms. So we really found a void in the consumer segment that we're about to fill.
Demographically, break down who you think the typical reader will be.
So we're targeting this magazine to Latinas who are English dominant or bilingual, in the age range of 18 to 49, with the sweet spot being millennial moms, 18 to 34, and women who have children between the ages of 0 and 12, so up to preteen.
Okay, single and married as well.
Single and married, actually. This consumer is still very much married. There is a trend towards single. We're watching that trend, and we'll respond to that as it happens.
And what kind of economic power do you think these readers possess?
Actually, we're looking at a household income of about $57,000. Yes. So
that's fabulous.
They're not low income necessarily. These English dominant Latinas have household incomes that mirror the general population.
And this will be a national magazine, correct?
A national magazine with a heavy up where, of course, we have a heavier incidence of the Hispanic population. So we'll be looking very closely at the top 25 Hispanic markets, but it will be national in scope.
Okay. Well, I would assume Texas, California, New York,
California, Florida, New York, Chicago, yes.
Off the top of my head.
The usual suspects,
I'm surprised you told me in the break you won't find the magazine on newsstands.
You won't find the magazine on newsstands. We have a unique distribution that we use called a controlled circulation distribution. So we are distributing 700,000 copies per issue.
Wow.
600,000 of those copies will go to doctor offices, daycare centers, fitness centers, hair salons, places where you will find Latinas. And an additional 100,000 will go direct to consumers. So using our vast database, we can find these women who fit the demographic, and we'll be sending out 1,000 copies directly to her.
Salon de Belleza, for sure. They'll be in there.
Salon de Belleza. We're there for 4 hours, right?
Is it, exactly. I wouldn't know. Is it your hope that they read it in the salon and therefore want to subscribe?
Yes, but our research shows that they don't just read it in the salon. This is not the the one issue that is on the coffee table of the doctor's office, for example, or in the salon. We actually bulk distribute. So it's how we distribute Sel Padres, it's how we distribute American Baby now, and our research has shown that the vast majority of these women take the issue home.
Yes.
So.
Which is good. Well,
yes.
If they do want to subscribe, I'm sure you're not going to turn them away.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, as I mentioned, 100,000 will go directly to consumers. So we will be building the subscription base.
Okay. Yeah. Have you established a price yet for a year-long subscription?
No, it's free.
It's free? Okay.
It's free.
So you'll be able to sign up after you read it and take the little insert that comes inside?
Yes.
And if you give them to salons and businesses and dental offices and healthcare centers, and you encourage people to take them home, I would assume that those centers are going to be getting more than 1 or 2 copies. They'll be getting a whole bunch.
Well, we'll start out with, actually, we have over 31,000 different distribution points. And we're starting out with bundles of 20 to each of those distribution points. And that, in the first year, you'll see that alter and shift as people respond to it and say, send me more. Which is what we have found.
Good luck. Un placer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Parents Latina. Again, April is the launch, so keep an eye out for it. Next time you go to the doctor's office and you see it on the table there, bring it home.
Well, thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. All right. Muchísimas gracias. Thanks for being with us this morning. If you missed any part of our show, you can watch it at 7 online, on the web, on your tablet, or even on your smartphone. You can read the magazine there, too, at some point. That wraps up another edition of Tiempo. I'm Joe Torres. Thank you for watching, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you next time.